shit. Here we go again.
Low, low, man. Low, low, man.
You like contracts, right? You're a contract guy.
I read contracts instead of conventional pornography, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
What's up, everybody? It is Andrew Esquire. Welcome to the Legal Mindset, where we teach you to be your own judge on time today. What's going on? It's actually the morning here. I've got a lot of energy, and I always love it when I wake up, I roll over in bed, I open my phone, and there's just a bright, big, beautiful legal topic for me to stream about. Particularly like one that's just on a silver platter like we have today. Which is this new lawsuit that Klein is going to have. And then we're going to talk about disloyal Denims. So disloyal. She is throwing people under the bus, the Reddit and the Discord mods under the bus. We're going to talk about that. I also will have a fast facts on disloyal Denims because it needs to be known that she ain't loyal. There's no loyalty in the courtroom. We're going to talk about that. And I told you guys, I predicted that in this lawsuit, these people are going to sacrifice each other to the corn. It's going to be stabbing each other in the back. All of this talk, all of this babble about, oh, we're all friends and we're a big community and we're in this together and, oh, we're fighting against evil and all this. The second you're in the courtroom, it is every man, woman, and child for themselves. Everybody is going for themselves. Everybody has their own lawyer. Everybody's looking to just protect their own interests. It's not a team game. So we're going to talk about that today, which is just as I predicted. And I just love it. I love it when things just come out as I predicted. All of these people, all the haters can say whatever they want to say. It does not remove the legal realities. And that's the beauty of the law, is that these things are going to play out in a very predictable fashion. Right. And I love to see the people that hope and wish and pray that it's another way. And that's just not the way it is. That's not reality. They can live in whatever reality they want, their reality of feelings or the little Twitch streamer bubble. But that doesn't remove you from finding out the consequences of reality. So let's get to some of these things here. And then I have something funny before we start that's totally off topic. This is extremely funny, so I'm going to bring it up before. Crucible, we give you 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much for that. Starting it off strong. Yes. Also says, good morning, Legal Daddy. Well, I'm happy it is the morning. Thank you. Kiru's Darkblade says, come for Somali news, stay for everything else. Awesome. And by the way, we are going to have Somali news as we come towards the next trial. Remember, the next trial for Ramzi Khalid Ismail, that is Johnny Somali, is August 13th. So as we ramp up to that, we'll have more news. Mind you, we are waiting any week now. It could be next week. It could be the week after. Who knows? It could be right before his trial. It could be right after his trial. He is going to be interviewed by the police for the charges under the Child Welfare Act, for violating the Child Welfare Act. That is coming very soon, and charges we'll see follow from that investigation. So we're going to stay on top of that as that goes forward. Don't you worry. Anything new I will bring up in that case. Of course, I'm not just going to rant and babble on no news, right? I'm not going to pull that out. We've got plenty of other topics that are suggested on this channel, tons of other stuff. Man, I mentioned DSP in like an offhanded remark, and there's like, I'm being clipped all over the internet. It's crazy. So we might have to have does DSP have an Ethan Klein like case for copyright that may have to be a thing? Why? Oh, this is interesting. Why are they so scared of you, brother? Because here's the reason why they're all scared of me. They're scared of me because I'm spitting objective reality and facts. And in this world, especially in the world of streaming, where people can just defame each other and make fun of each other, and that kind of is a wash. It kind of balances out. Like one streamer calls another person a weird name and another calls the other weird name. In that world that we live in, when somebody shows up with an objective receipt and says, well, this is happening, and it really can't be refuted, that scares people. Because an objective reality is very scary to a lot of people that want to be able to paint a subjective picture where they can just talk about things and try to make that into a reality. But when they're confronted with an objective truth, that is very, very, very scary to people. And they don't like that. And they fear that perhaps I'm on one side or another, but really the side that I'm on is objective reality, truth, facts, and the legal story. Right? Telling the legal story, telling the legal narrative. And, sometimes my interpretation can be a little off. Maybe I might be wrong. I do my best to correct and, update if I make any mistakes, but it generally conforms to the right path, right? Like, oh, this is how this is going to go because it's very predictable. Court is very predictable. Blade 501 says, off topic, I heard that your aura scared off Niji Sanji. Yes. So ironically, I have this post on X. I'm not going to pull it up right now, but I was in Japan for 7 days. I could not stream because I mentioned this on my last stream, but they mentioned, hey, when I was talking about my job, what I do with immigration, they said, oh, you're a streamer. Hey, don't do any live streams while you're here. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Japan wants to start enforcing that rule, which I hope they do enforce. I think that'll stop a lot of nuisance streamers. So I didn't stream for that period of time. Had some pre-recorded videos. That's a different sort of thing. But I did take a photo in front of the Niji Sanji building. And on that same day, Astor Arcadia was terminated. The same day I took the photo. So very funny coincidence. My weekly contribution. Thanks for the shenanigans. Thank you, Hoopty. Appreciate you, brother. And appreciate everybody here. Make sure you're liking the video, even if you don't super chat, because the way the new algo works, it's factoring in likes and comments. So like the video, comment, just be like, awesome video. If you don't like it, be like, oh, this sucks. I'm a Hassan stan, whatever. That's okay. That's fine. Just like and comment on the video. Gamercrop gifted 5 Legal Mindset memberships, giving all my haters
Emotional damage.
Marcia says, keep up the versatility of topics here. It's nice. Thank you. I try different topics, and I also try to give you guys the freshest news. We're not just going to cover Ethan Klein and Somali. I mean, I've got a lot of other topics I want to cover, and I think now, especially where there's a little gap in the Somali coverage, I'm finally going to get a chance to branch out and touch other topics that are really highly requested. And what I look for in topics is topics that all of you want to see. Now, sometimes I know many of you, there'll be 1 or 2 of you that want a very specific topic, and I love you. I appreciate you. I do answer your emails. I read them, but I look for, hey, if 25% are asking for this topic, well, then that's a lot of people. Let me look at that topic. Fanta Steve says defamation trio seething when Legal Mindset keeps winning. Thank you. Asian Wing says, yo, missing Japan back in the USA. I know. I miss Japan too. Although Thailand is pretty awesome as well. So I'm always happy to be home in my own studio here. Justin Dang Raven said, greetings, Sir Andrew. Remember to stay hydrated. I have a massive water bottle bigger than my head here. So just for you. We're going to do the hydration check. Thank you for that. Artemis says, looking scruffy there. Oh, I guess I need to shave. Yeah, that's going to happen. I think I'm going to go get a haircut soon too as well. It's getting a little too lion-esque for me, but thank you for that. Silverblood 0, welcome as a new member. Eggy Entertainer for 5, thank you. Hypnotic and Rapture says, I'm here for Andrew, the glorious meltdowns. Oh, we're going to make so many people melt down. Ginblade says for 100 Norwegian krona. My personal opinion makes me a qualified lawyer. I learned that on Reddit. Also, I don't need a defense. I can defend myself in court. Also learned on Reddit. Also, I plead insanity. Yeah, Reddit is not a great source. I haven't used Reddit in like 20 years. When I saw Reddit kind of just really coming down and moderating certain communities in a very biased way, I said, yeah, Reddit is not the place that it could have been, or it had the potential to be. It wasn't the place for me. So yeah, I tend to stay away from Reddit, but hey, if you want to use Reddit, go on, do your thing. Morse Apple 556 says, good morning, good noon, and good night. And let this super mellow things out. Thank you for that. And good morning, good evening, and good night to people all around the world, wherever you're in America, Europe, Asia with me, Australia, Oz. Hope you guys are doing all well. Gamercron says like Kurosanji picks, like the tats. Thank you. That's always a shocker when people are like, oh, there's a lawyer and has tattoos. Yes, but I tend to hide them most of the time. Baba Booey, 94 as a new member. Manachan says, Mabayong Hapan from Legal Mindset from the Philippines. Well, greetings to all my Pinoy brothers and sisters. Hope you guys are doing well. Filipinas and Filipinos over there in the Philippines. I'll be still on the case of Vitali. Oh, don't you think I'm letting Vitali slide? We're going to keep covering Vitali as well. Sir Jack 582 says many legal topics out there to cover what you want. Exactly. And I choose the topics that are interesting to me. So, and that are fun and that you guys want. That's kind of the nexus of what I choose. And Crimson Sweat says comment via chat or on stream for engagement. So you can do chat, but really it's on the actual stream. I think that gives a little bit more bonus. We're going to see, they changed the algorithm. So we're going to see how that plays out. But I think commenting after does more, but also I think the chat is very good as well because it shows that, hey, this isn't bots or anything else. You see some chats where they'll allegedly have 1,000 people, but nobody's talking, versus I can't even read my chat because you guys talk too much because you're too active. You're too active, but I love you. How long's the stream tonight? Probably about an hour. It's not super long, but we got some stuff to get through. Crimson Splat. Oh, no, got the one already. Datey says, yay, I made it on time. Been watching since Niji and stuck around for your amazing content. Thank you. Hopefully you love my VTuber coverage. I know it's a little bit of niche coverage for some people, but I find that industry that is unregulated a massive potential for abuse. Whenever there's an industry that's largely unregulated and preying on foreign labor, yeah, that's going to be a huge issue. It's going to be a massive issue. So just stay tuned. The VTuber news is only going to get crazier. But let's talk about something crazy. This is very funny. So before we start with our main coverage, I want to cover this very comical bit that somebody sent over to me. This was sent over by Mamoru Hikaru on X. So this is very funny. He says, obviously it's scripted, but makes me wonder if this would actually be legally binding in a court of law. Legal mindset, your thoughts. So this is John Cena saying he can't compete at SummerSlam because Corey Rhodes forced his signature onto a contract to make it official. So I guess we have a guy there pretending to be, I don't know if that's the lawyer or just a commentator or whatever. And here's him pinning him and making him sign a contract. That is what we would call duress. That is what we would call duress. That is obviously this is scripted. I mean, hate to break it to you, but that's what you call duress, people. That's actual duress, physical duress. So yes, that would not be an enforceable contract at all. So just so you know. But that's content. That's good content there, guys. That's good content. Bean Boy says, won't stick around for the live, but showing support. Oh, that's fine. Also, there'll be a fast facts on disloyal denims after this. So stick around for that. I like that one. Plans to sue. We'll see. Dr. Love 28258 says, hey man, love the content. I watch you and Nate the lawyer a lot. Collab soon. Yeah, I'm happy to collab with Nate. Nate's a friend of mine. Nate's a good guy. I don't always agree with Nate. Nate sometimes has opinions that are contrary to mine, or he takes a contrarian position. But that said, I respect him. And Nate the lawyer is a very good lesson in how you can respectfully disagree with somebody. I like him. Sometimes I think he makes an extreme argument that I don't agree with. However, I respect him. And that's the really cool thing about the law and lawyers, right? Is that we can have different personal beliefs and morals and backgrounds and stuff like that, and different politics, and we still respect each other. We still treat each other with respect. I would never say anything bad about him. I think he's a good guy. He's a family guy, right? I think he's a good person, as I think he's a good human. I've met him. I think he's, like I said, a good human being, right? And I would absolutely collab with him. I think he's a really good YouTuber and he knows his niche. He follows his stuff. And if you want to be a law tuber and you want to be successful, I think you could look at the model of Nate the lawyer and you could follow it and you could be successful. Michael Turner says, Hassan has a tiny head. That is it for now. Okay. All right. Not legally relevant, but I'll read your member chat because I'm legally obliged to read your member chat about the tiny heads. Okay. Well, let's get into it. What do you guys want to hear for chat? What do you guys want to hear first? Do you want to hear about disloyal denims or do you want to hear about the new lawsuit? Those are our two topics today. Disloyal Denims or the new Ethan Klein lawsuit? Which one do you want? Which one do you want? Ricada is not an option. Someone in the chat said Ricada. Ricada is not a third option. No, disloyal Denims or the new lawsuit. Okay, new lawsuit. Let's see. I think new lawsuit is winning. Okay. New lawsuit. Okay. Denims does have some love. Denims does have some love. And I did not use, listen, guys, I have ethics. I did not use for my thumbnail any of her OnlyFans photos. Okay. So I'm very legit about that. Also, I don't want anybody crying. Oh, this OnlyFans photo. I just used a simple old plain Denims photo, right? Simple plain Denims photo for the fast facts that I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of this one. I'm very proud of this one. This is one of my better thumbnails. I gotta lie. I kind of got a little chuckle out of this one, right? Got a little chuckle. But it was clear from the chat. Wait, hold on. Denims kind of okay. Hold on. I'm gonna have to do a poll because it was too close. Because Denims kind of came back afterwards. Okay, I'll have to do a poll. We'll have to do a poll. Make it scientific because I'm kind of slow. Polls up. Give it a minute. But at this stage of the game, I think Ethan Klein is not only willing to sue pretty much anybody. It seems like he's just on the infinite money glitch, and he's just going to, like he said, generate this, infinite wealth for his lawyer forever and just sue absolutely everybody. And I'm here for it because that is content. And I think what we're going to see is we're going to see a lot more lawsuits over the next coming months, because as the existing lawsuits progress, more and more people are going to be revealed, and he's either going to add them to the existing lawsuit or bring a new lawsuit. So it's a content craziness. No, I'm going to cover both. It's just which I cover first, Sensei. So don't worry. I always get around to it. I just want to see what the priority is. Made it to the first quarter as a member. W Legal Mindset. Awesome. Thank you. Welcome and congrats on 3 months. Miss Mumu. Welcome as a new member. The Supreme Pizza King. Oh man, I want pizza. I'm trying to diet. I'm trying to cut down. I'm at 104 kilograms right now. I'm trying to get to 100 or maybe 98. That's my goal. As at 6'6" almost, it's a lot, but yeah. JP the drummer, 4258 said Suffa Denims. Okay, let's look at the poll. 52% said Denims. Denims wins. Denims wins. You guys are just simps in the chat. You guys are just Denim simps in the chat. It's been exposed. It's okay. I still love you guys. You're all simps though. You guys need to go donate more to your e-girls. Right. I know it. I know you're all simping. How many of you are subscribed to our OnlyFans who voted for Denims? How many? Yeah. See what I mean? Chat is just telling on itself right now. Okay, the chat is full of okay, who said that? Oh, this is not wrong. Okay, well, let's expose Denim and strip her legally with this document here. Yes, I'm kind of catfishing you on that. Okay. We have this filing in TED Entertainment, which is Ethan Klein. I'm just going to say anytime TED Entertainment Inc. TEI comes up, I'm going to say that as Ethan Klein. Then we have Alexandra Marwa Saber, a.k.a. Marwa Talat Abdel Monem, PKA Denims, and Does. That's the Jane or John Does 1 through 10, which are the Discord and Reddit mods. This is a motion that was filed that was jointly stipulated. So this is the great thing here. Is that both Denims and the lawyers for Denims and the lawyers for Ethan Klein agreed on this. So we're going to sit back for a moment and say, what? Yes, the lawyers for Denims and the lawyers for Ethan Klein completely agreed on this. They're 100% in agreement on this. Yeah, already in one of the first motions. This is one of the first things that happened. So in this case, Denims filed what's called a motion to appear, a notice of appearance, right, for her lawyers. So her lawyers showed up in court and said, hey, we're Denims lawyers. And then almost the first thing they did was this, was agreeing with Ethan Klein's lawyers, was bending the knee to Ethan Klein. It took that long. It took that long. Already. I want to hear about insanity plea first. No, banned. Even non-gaming. So Ethan Klein is making generational wealth for Andrew and his lawyers. Yes, me and my team are getting generational wealth. A lawyer fusion dance. Yes, it's great. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Okay, let's get into this. So what happened here? Plaintiff Klein commenced the action, so that's the lawsuit, on June 19th by alleging copyright infringement by Denims and contributory copyright infringement by the mods. So the mods are also going to be liable for copyright infringement. That's very, very important. Do not forget that, right? That they contributed to copyright infringement. That's how they're liable. So Denims was served on June 24th. That means she got a copy of the complaint. You have to be served for there to be a lawsuit. The counsel for Denims, so she hired a lawyer. So all those legal funds did go allegedly, I guess, towards her lawyer, right? So she hired a lawyer. So people who pay Denims can understand that Denims used that for her lawyer. But what they may not have realized is this does not go, those legal funds donated to Frogan and Casey Tron and Denims only go towards that individual and the defense of that individual. They do not go towards defending the Reddit mods. So if the Reddit mods and the Discord mods thought they were going to benefit from the legal fund of Denims, they're wrong. None of that money is going to go towards defending them. They're going to be thrown under the bus. They're going to be sacrificed to the corn. So here they had a meeting. So the counsel for Denims contacted Klein's lawyer to discuss preliminary matters. On June 30th, Ethan Klein responded to Denims and said, we intend to file an application for expedited discovery to subpoena Reddit and Discord to obtain personal information. So their names, their emails, their address, their phone number, if they have it, anything they've got, of the H3 Snark mods prior to the Conference of Counsel under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, Rule 26, for the purpose of naming them in the complaint and serving them with the complaint. The counsel for Denims responded and set up a time to meet with Ethan Klein's lawyer. They talked on July 1st. On July 1st, they had a telephonic meet. The counsel for Denims agreed with the request to seek expedited discovery to obtain personal identifying information of the mods and name them in the complaint and serve them as warranted. So what this means is that they agreed that Klein can rush to get these people. Klein was not entitled per se to get this expedited discovery. It wasn't something we was 100% sure to get. If they could have fought back against it, they could have pressed back against it. They could have offered some defense. They could have tried to make some excuse. They could have tried to just delay. However, they decided, you know what? Screw those people. We're going to let Klein do what he wants to do. We're not going to make a defense for these people. And this is going to be a pattern which you are going to see throughout the entire case. It is going to be every man, woman, and mod for themselves. They're going to end up knifing each other legally over and over and over again. And it's going to be glorious. It's going to be amazing. And all this friendship is magic. All this, we're a big team. We're a big commune. We're a big whatever else. All of this is going to go out the door in the courtroom. And this is just the reality of how courts work. When you hire a lawyer, they only have a duty to defend you. And this is a huge mistake that a lot of people make in court. For example, let's say you got pulled over and you were doing something with your friend. Maybe let's talk about burglary, right? You were both broke into a house and your friend hires a lawyer and says, oh, don't worry, my lawyer will defend both of us. No. That's not how it works. You need your own lawyer. You can't rely on the lawyer of somebody else to defend you. And I think a lot of these people were doing that. So the parties have entered a joint stipulation to request a grant leave to serve the subpoenas. Right? So the subpoenas are going to go out. They're going to look at them. They don't object to the proposed subpoena at all. The counsel for Denims does not object to them. So they entered into the stipulation before the court, which the court is going to grant. So Denims already showing her colors. I imagine this is going to be the same thing for Frogan. It's going to be the same thing for K-Strong. And of course, ETH Klein taking a victory lap on this one. Right here, you see, and this is a post from H3H3, generally a bad sign for those being subpoenaed when both opposing parties agree that expedited discovery to unmask them is warranted. Appears that counsel for both parties are in agreement that ETH Klein be granted fast track subpoenas against Reddit and Discord. So already taken a victory lap over that they've fallen together this quickly. It's beautiful. I love to see it. Derp says, I can finally catch a Friday night stream with the most based long man. Gotta support my law, Oshi, and make these anti-Steve. Thank you. It does make them seethe. Every time they see a super chat or a membership, all they do is
No. Wait.
Repton says, Hassan, big lolcow. Well, mind you, look, I'm being fair. Hassan is not a party to these lawsuits yet. Could he be in the future? Yes, but he's not right now. So, right now we're not really talking about Hassan. Now, these are Hassan's orbiters, but Hassan is not on the line. And once again, do you think it would be any different if Hassan was a party to this? Do you think Hassan's lawyer, like righteous Hassan, would be defending Denims or defending the mods? No, they would be doing the exact same thing because that's what you do in court. That's what a good lawyer does, is protects their client, right? He's not in here yet, right? Yet. Could be potential. It's possible, but not yet. And I'm not going to, lie and pretend like he's going to come into this lawsuit tomorrow. No, he may or may not. It may not happen, but it's possible. Gustavo Matos, E2R, says she added 2 hours time to a reaction to the nuke itself. Is that a problem for Ethan, or does the whole maliciousness kind of negate that? Thanks. There's multi-factors. Yes, that is something the court will consider. However, here's one thing that's a problem. She watched the whole thing. If she didn't watch the whole thing, if she just watched clips of it, it would be a lot better. But one real big factor for restreaming is watching the whole thing, paired with the statement that it's a substitute. That's what really looks bad. That's what puts the ball strongly in Ethan Klein's court. Now, yes, that's a factor. Once again, I've never said Denims couldn't win. Maybe the judge is very sympathetic and says, you know what? She added 2 hours. Despite all these other things, I'll give it to her. It's case by case. And like I said, maybe Denims wins and Frogan loses and Caseytron loses. That's how these things can come out. There's no guarantee that Ethan Klein wins. All I've said is the odds are in his favor. That's it. That's all. Denims could still win. It's still possible that a judge could look at that and the judge could feel a certain way about it. Goyang 7566 says, I wish I could have met you in Japan. Legal Mindset going tomorrow. Oh, awesome. Well, sorry, I was just there for a short time. We're gonna have more official events in the future, so definitely look forward to that. Orsa Flat says, wow, 11 months of greatness. They're only doing this to lower the damages with being good. Maybe. Richie said, would consequences for Denims become lighter or the same even after agreeing? No. So this is not going to mitigate her damages. However, what this will do is perhaps it could, if Denims is like playing ball and being nice, maybe eventually Ethan is willing to settle. Maybe if, like I said, at some point, if Denims bends the knee fully and gives over people and sacrifices names or whatever else, or even points the finger at somebody else who Ethan wants to get, that could be maybe enough for a settlement to get herself out of crippling legal judgment debt. Let's go. Alpha Echo. Thank you. Professor says, is Twitch liable? Not yet. No, not yet. Hika says for 5, thank you. Pilot Girl says all the Reddit and Discord stuff has got to add up. And we'll see. Once again, we don't know exactly what's there, but understand they do preserve some of this stuff. Some of this communications, despite what's been deleted, the posts have been deleted, information's been deleted. That's going to be preserved. That's going to be recovered. And Discord and Reddit, they don't care about saving people. Discord and Reddit do not care about that. Darth Torlin says, yo, Darth Torlin stepping in with Legal Mindset. Commentary chair, no case, no story. Begs for support, but brings nothing. This team ready to be dismissed. Thank you, Darth Torlin. Thanks for the support. Thanks for being a base support. Appreciate you. Good stuff. Check out Darth Torlin's channel. He's got good content. Akiri for 5. Oz says, first super. Is Denims trying to put the blame to the Reddit Snark mods? That may be the way this ends up rolling. And it could end up that if Denims really sacrifices them, maybe Ethan is appeased. Who knows? I can't predict what causes Ethan to feel like he's whole in this, right? That like okay, Denims, I forgive you, or I'm going to let you off the hook. I don't know. That's up to villain arc Ethan Klein, right? We don't know that. At this point, I have seen posts from him saying he's not going to settle, but everybody says they're not going to settle at the beginning of a lawsuit. So I am calling a little bit of BS on Ethan. This is my pushback against Ethan. All you people who say I'm not anti-Ethan. I think Ethan says he doesn't want to settle now, but once you've been in a lawsuit for a year or 2 years, you start to be more open to settlement just to get it over with. So right now in the beginning, you're gung-ho. But wait 6 months, wait a year, we'll see, right? Ira Amin says, Denims being a snitch, is this deal only for her? No, it's just a procedural thing. So it's a procedural thing. But it's important to show people that legal procedure is every man for himself. It's not a team game. Can we watch the funny A380 video from X? If you send that to me, I'll watch it on a future one. So Shadow, email me, andrewesquirelive@gmail.com. Email me and say, just put in the subject line, funny A380 video, and we'll watch that on a future one when I'm kind of doing more of a fun episode where I'm going through videos. I can't wait to watch Tectone reacting to Legal Mindset, reacting to Hassan, reacting to H3, reacting to Hassan. I love the reactionception. It's great. It's absolutely great. And shout out to Techie. He's been a bro. Slug says, all I know is I'm taller than you. Okay. Do you want a cookie? It's already hard enough for me. I couldn't even sleep. Even when I fly sometimes business class, the seat is too small for me. Even when I use my meager airline points to upgrade, I'm like, oh, this seat is too small for me. Do you think Kaiju Otaku 54, do you think Dan Clancy stepping out of Twitch could be related to Ethan's lawsuit? That is not actually real. I got to check the corporate filings. I saw him stepping down for extra MLA or whatever. I'm pretty sure they didn't do corporate filings on that. I'm pretty sure that's not real. Well, I'll have to look into that one if that was real, but I don't think it was actually real. I'll check the filings. All right, let's get into the new lawsuit, shall we? So here we go. We've got a new lawsuit that Ethan Klein appears to be rolling out here against one Gato Fumador, Queen in Yellow on Twitter. Here we go. I'll read this out because the text is a little small. This is from Ethan. In today's age of rapidly improving technology, anonymity is nearly impossible to maintain, even for a throwaway Twitter account. For example, the operator behind this account is a 37-year-old single male who is currently unemployed and living with his parents named DB. And I'm just going to I'm going to guess this name because look, I'm going to Dylan or David or Derek, maybe. No, Dylan or David, maybe. And then B with, is that Brown? Maybe Brown? Like Doo-Doo Brown? I don't know. I think, anyways, DB, you don't need to know his name. He just needs to know that I do. This person is clearly down and out, and it's a shame that instead of improving his life, he's dedicated all his time and energy into snarking strangers on the internet. Now, as a result of his unforgivable actions on my family, his outlook is even more bleak. He's facing down a lifetime of soul-crushing debt and litigation. He doesn't have a wage now, but if he does ever crawl out of his mother's yellow wall basement, I will be garnishing every cent he earns for the rest of his life. So this is obviously pictures of the skulls, which is why I had the skull live thing here. And then Noah said, really doesn't make it better at all. Skull shouldn't have been sent to a house with kids. Don't support him, but be reasonable. This is weird. And then he responds, yes, it's terrible that Ethan did this to his own children. Maybe someone should consider contacting CPS. So obviously, Ethan not too happy about that statement. And this is another comment here about this new lawsuit. Over here from once again from H3 Productions. There are a handful of attack dogs that operate similarly on Twitter for the benefit of Hassan Piker and Taylor Lorenz. They know who they are. I have time and money to find each and every one of you. This is what I'm here for. This is what I'm absolutely here for, is Ethan Klein suing everybody and spawning infinite legal contact for me. Thank you, Ethan Klein, for generational wealth for your lawyer and this lawyer. I deeply appreciate it. As they say in Thailand, kopun kap, kopun kap. It is amazing. It is amazing. Okay. And I'll get some super chats and we'll continue here. Would you collab with Nux Taku? Yeah, Nux is a friend of mine. Nux is a good guy. Nux is a good guy. I don't agree with everything. By the way, I don't agree with everything Nux says. I disagree with him on something. But he's never been anything but respectful to me in private. He's never been anything but nice to me in private. Big Buddha says, do you have to dip your head in doorways? In Japan, yes. Jasper Sin says, Denims sacrificed the Reddit mods to appease a wrathful Klein. Sounds biblical. It really is. It really is. Chaos Smash says, DB equals D's balls. Thank you. Thank you. Let's continue here. As you revealed in your anonymity as a means to defame me, so there's a hint about what he's going to sue for. He's going to sue for defamation and attack my family and children. I now revel in shining a light into the pathetic corner of the internet where you exist. I am coming for all of you. In the meantime, D, probably Dylan or David, you'll be hearing more from me soon. I have the honor to be your obedient servant, E. Klein. Oh, no. Oh, no. So here he goes. By the way, I'm going to read these kind of defamatory statements. What's up with Zionists like Ethan Klein constantly doing false flags? I do not agree with Ethan Klein harassing himself and his children for sympathy. So the defamation, obviously, you can see that there. It's, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. And I think another statement that he was getting them for, and this is this one over here, is this one where he says Ethan Klein has been arrested following the publication of a video in which he appears to be in the throes of a drug-fueled psychotic break. So obviously accusing someone, obviously, of being arrested for drugs, that is some pretty clear defamation right there. And that's what I think he'll be sued for. I think people were asking right here, over here on X, I don't know what Ethan is suing him for, but I know he is SOL with what they're with what I am bringing. So what they probably are suing for is defamation or intentional infliction of emotional distress. Defamation or intentional infliction of emotional distress. Typically, most states, there's a 2-year statute of limitations on this. So he can dig back 2 years, possibly more, depending on the state that he sues in, but at least 2 years and minimum 2 years. So a lot of these posts are from 2023. That's perfectly fine. He can dig back to 2023, find stuff there, come back, add that to the lawsuit. That'll be fine. So this is going to be very, very, very interesting. And one thing I found also interesting is that the internet is living for this. Is absolutely living for this. So we saw the Roach King over here, Papa Asman, having some comments, and I'll throw on the headphones here because I want to listen into this. But let's hear what the Roach King had to say about this here today.
Rage serves a function. Hey, I found you. Oh no! Where'd you go? Hey, I found you. Where'd you go?
This is obviously the guy Gato Fumador here. Right, obviously the guy got the Fumador.
Where'd you go? Why'd you run away?
Man.
I gave you the attention you want. It seems like you're disabled.
Bro, this shit
Anger
is
has a
so good.
function.
I'm sorry. This edit is so good. If you're stupid enough to fall for gotcha games deserving of being taken advantage of, or people stupid enough to get Ethanized, deserving of Klein's, the Klein's.
I love how it's a villain arc at this point where like being Klein is just being sued on the internet, which is for being, for a cause that is going to get past a motion to dismiss, which is, the thing about Ethan is he has good lawyers and they're not going to write lawsuits that they're not going to get to the point where they're going to put a pressure on that person and sink them in litigation costs. So Ethan Klein is not a person that I would personally ever screw with. And I would advise people on the internet not to screw with him because he's going to litigate against you and he's going to bury you. Even if you win, even if you ultimately win, the cost you're going to pay for that victory is going to be pricey. It's going to be very, very pricey. So you perhaps should think twice before messing with this dude because he's going to come after a long list of people.
Calamity. I love this. And yeah, these guys, those are the guys. Yeah, they got Ethanized. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. And Ethanized. I'll tell you this, right? Is that this person really had a lot of shit to talk about me too. So like, if Ethan needs a tag team on this, just hit me up, bro. Like, just hit me up.
I mean, there we go. So we're talking about adding in an additional plaintiff here. We're talking about throwing in Asmongold. Now he might have to bring a separate case because it might be based on different facts, right? Et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, imagine that. Imagine all the larger creators out there finally stepping up and taking out some of their most storied haters. And the great thing is, the perfect thing is, especially with defamation, and this applies at large, a lot of people say sue, sue, sue right away when they say the first thing. That's not always the smartest course of action. You often want to let them talk and let them hang themselves with their own rope. Let them defame you for a little while because you can take everything they said for the past year or 2 years and you can add all of that to the lawsuit to make it a slam dunk. And some haters have been talking smack for longer than 2 years. So they have a long record to go back, right? So, it always is sometimes a smart thing to be calm, not react right away, not react to the first tweet. But once you've got 100 tweets, once you've got a lot of proof, then you pull the trigger because you make sure, like I've said, it's a headshot. You make sure it's going to take them down. You make sure it's not something that is just one throwaway comment that might be more difficult to prove or might get tossed out, right? And oh, someone's on the chat. This is great for Hassan. He can sue Ethan. Sure, if Hassan can find a defamatory statement that is actually defamatory, go ahead and sue him. Now, I don't think that's smart because I think Ethan actually has money to fight back. I think that would be really bad. But I would love that. Oh, please. I hope Hassan sues Ethan. Do you imagine the generational wealth that'll generate for me? I am all here for it. Your favorite lawyer is like, yes. Yeah, please, Hassan, please sue Ethan. I want you to. It'd be amazing. That would be infinite content. Oh, man. Crimson Pegasus 9714 says, new to the channel, but I'm curious, in Minecraft, type defense would hold up in law or not? I can't imagine a jury would take seriously after something violent said. Okay, this is a great question. We actually have an answer to this. So in federal court, they've actually presented evidence and the feds have won when somebody raised the Minecraft defense, said, oh yeah, I was just saying, I was going to do XYZ in Minecraft. I was going to, delete him in Minecraft. And the feds have said, we know what this means. And there's an established meaning on the internet of what in Minecraft means. And the feds won on that. So some of this slang that people are using, it's not going to necessarily hold up, particularly when it becomes established slang, when people know what that means. So don't think Minecraft, because you say you're going to Minecraft somebody, right, is going to 100% hold up. The feds in America have already gotten past that. We have several cases where that happened. Demon Core Jr. said, suing everyone who hurt your feelings on the internet is an interesting way to set your wealth on fire. Demon Core, this is a very good point. And you're right about this. You should not sue people who just hurt your feelings. That's not enough. Hurting your fifis is enough. Defaming you is. Defamation is accusing you of a crime or stating something that is maliciously false. That's different than just hurting your feelings. A lot of people on the internet have hurt feelings because other people are telling the truth. And that's not enough to sue. That's not going to get past the motion to dismiss. It's going to be dismissed like right off the bat. Defamation is not okay, right? Defamation is beyond hurt feelings. It's when somebody's saying something that is a malicious lie that is hurting your reputation. And I say malicious lie because for streamers, we're all public figures. So I'm a public figure. Asmongold's a public figure. Tectone, Ethan Klein, Hassan. We're all public figures. So we're held to a different standard in the American courtroom, right? Which is where most people would be bringing these cases would be in America, right? So by the American standard. Now in Asia, it's different, right? In Asia, defamation, it can be true, right? So it could be true and it's still defamation here. You still don't have a right to say it, but that's Asia. That's the Asian rules. And that's why, like I've said about Hassan and a lot of other streamers, they can never work outside of America because they would be buried in defamation. And by the way, defamation in most Asian countries is a crime, not just civil. In America, it's just a civil thing. It's just something you pay money for. In Asia, you can go to jail. And in some places, depending on who you defame, you may go there for a very long time. Ethan's villain arc begins. It's Devin, by the way, said Nux. I don't care what the name is. For me, it's David. I don't really care, right? It's just, the clear point is Ethan knows. Inori for 38 Hong Kong says, at this rate, the issues evolve. Could Ethan subpoena Amazon to get the guy to order and ship the skull? I don't know. Let's finish this Asmon clip here.
People like this love to talk shit. They love to talk, bro. Like, and I like to I love to listen. What can I say? And I see this happen, and they got declined. Yeah, I guess so.
Declined. I like that one.
Klein obscure lawsuit. I guess that's what it is, right? 2v1 in court. Yeah, bro. We're gonna put these people back. We're gonna ruin this person's whole life, bro. Like, that's it. And the thing is that these people, you got to understand that these people are the worst, man. They are the worst. And I'm so glad that now, like, see, this is the thing, is that I hope that these people know that they created this. Ethan didn't want to do this. All he wanted to do was make videos, but they had to go and call him a Nazi because he said that it wasn't cool to kill Israelis. That was all it took, bro. That's all it took. They had no idea. They made him do this.
I'll go beyond that. I'll actually say it's not just Ethan Klein. It's with all content creators. I think content creators don't want to have to sit around and sue people. That's not what any of us want to do. None of us wants to deal with that. Lawsuits are not fun. And lawsuits should never be your first option in reacting to somebody. Oftentimes, and I do this very often, is to ignore stuff, ignore people talking smack, ignore the haters, etc. People don't want to sue, but there comes a point where you have to at least consider it, right? There comes a point where you have to say, you know what? Let's think about this, right? And you have to have a certain amount of evidence. You have to make sure it's, bulletproof, etc. But there is a point at which you do this. But I guarantee you, Ethan didn't want to have to go down this road. It's only when you're pushed and defamed to a certain level where people are like, all right, we guess I have to pull the trigger here, right? Nobody wants to have to do this. Everybody who's a streamer or content creator, we all want to be creating videos. That's very, very much true. We don't want to have to do this other stuff. Even me as a lawyer, I don't want to have to get involved in lawsuits. It's not fun. It's not fun. It is a pain in your butt. It involves a lot of your time, effort, and energy. But sometimes you have to. Masto says, I agree on the subpoena for both Reddit and Discord. The snark mods intentionally use both platforms to obfuscate their dubious actions for the purpose of plausible deniability. Exactly. So trying to hide behind anonymity is not going to work into infinity and beyond, right? That's going to eventually be exposed. You're eventually going to be outed. And I think that's one thing that makes people way too freaking comfortable on the internet is anonymity. Mr. Orris says, love your content, legal mindset. Novellas of POS, agree. Bad News Badger 6660 says, probably not law related, but just out of interest, what is your legal and personal opinion on Visa and MasterCard playing moral police after a long list now, including Steam? How far can they go? I think that from what I've seen, they are pushing the limits, but once again, they're the payment processors. So they're able to set these rules, and that's why people sometimes advocate for alternative payment processors, et cetera, because obviously you see what's going on with those channels. And they've had this funnel, they have this moat that allows them to censor stuff. So yes, they are doing that, right? And it's a thing, it's happening, right? And it's really hard to fight back because that takes a lot of industry pressure, and it also takes creation of new payment processors. Cynic in Chief says, got a bag of authentic Thai tea recommendations. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of good stuff. The most popular brand, the one that everybody will go, and I think people will notice this one if you're in Thailand, is the Chatra Mutai. I'm saying that wrong right now. I'm going to take Thai lessons pretty soon because I need to upgrade my Thai ability. But it's this one. It's this one. This is the bag. I like the bag. You know, this is the one you want to get. Thai tea is delicious. Although I have to lay light on the sugar as I'm trying to cut here. But yeah, good stuff. Gazalorian 5000 says that was Mike from PA. He was a person doxing his viewers on live stream, and they edited in Gato as a joke reference. Oh man. Oh, that's great. WG Winnell says, do you think Ethan will sue Twitch? It's possible. It's certainly possible because look, Twitch is really feeling itself and is really going out on a limb here, and they are asking at some point to incur liability. And if those communications between the mods, which Ethan asked for, reveal that Twitch itself or Twitch staff were knowing of this, that's how the door opens against Twitch. If any Twitch staff were communicating with the mods, that would open the door against Twitch. And you know Ethan Klein is going to pull that trigger finger on that one. They got deep pockets. They got real deep pockets. So if Twitch was collaborating, they'd be cooked. They'd be absolutely cooked. They better pray. They better pray that no Twitch staff were talking to the Discord or the Reddit mods. And maybe that's why Dan's stepping down. Grassable says, you're a drama gooner, legal mindset. I cover the law. Now, look, these issues I cover, they do have drama components. Of course they do. But other people are going to cover the drama components. I'm going to focus on the legal part. And yeah, we can laugh about the drama stuff. I love all the super chats. That's all good stuff. But I'm trying to focus on educating you guys on the legal facets of this and how the legal case is going to expand. Nick Tomato says, you can have internet beef with someone, but never go after children. That's full on war. I don't like Ethan since he's become wokester feminist, but I understand. Listen, I've said this. I have no favorite horse in Ethan Klein versus, I had no dog in this fight. I mean, the only thing I say now is after I started covering this, Hassan talked smack about me. So obviously, personally, I don't feel too good about Hassan. Ethan Klein has said some complimentary things about me. Okay, that's fine, right? But in terms of the legal dog in this fight, if this turned against Ethan, I'm going to be honest and tell you, yeah, the odds go against Ethan if that's the reality. Right now, that's not the reality, right? So we're going to cover this honestly. And objectively. And it's almost better that I don't really care or follow either one of them religiously. I'm just following the law. Gustavo Mato says, by the way, couldn't Hassan get heat from the government for promoting terrorism? Is that not a thing? Yes, he already lost his global entry for that. So his global entry, which is the thing you get, I have one which I've showed in the past, but it's the thing you get when you pass like this super FBI extra background check. You get this global entry where you can come in and out of the U.S. easily when you travel abroad. It's super expedited. He lost his because of the association with terrorism, presumably. That's presumably the reason. Wait, they called the Jewish ban a Nazi? Morons. It's fun. Blitzkrieg Bear 6192 says, in a certain country, calling a certain emperor has a likeness of a certain cartoon, straight to jail. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. A certain poo. Douglas Diaz. For 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Yes. Fat J662 says, could the Reddit mods somehow skirt their way out of lawsuit? They're pretty much screwed. They might be able to get out of it if they can show they knew nothing or had no impact or no effect on any of the posts that were related to diverting traffic. So if they can say they were no way related to that and they can prove that, then yeah, they could get out of it. I think he picked the ones that did post on it and are involved. I think he intentionally picked the ones that are involved. However, yes, it's possible. It's possible. They could potentially get out of it if they have no involvement. Can you go into spoliation issues of the case? Well, yes, that's deleting files. So if any of these parties are deleting things, I'm looking at you, Denims, and they're doing it intentionally to hide them from the court, that could be an issue. Now, if Denims is subpoenaed and she turns over her original video and she doesn't try to lie and say, oh no, I was only doing this modified video, because remember, she modified her video to take out those statements. If Denims doesn't lie and she turns over her actual factual, real version, then yes, that's not spoliation. But my concern is, and my thought is, that Denims perhaps is trying to be smart. And whenever you try to get cute and get smart and get snarky, you might try to say, with the court, it doesn't work out well for you. So if Denims is going to try to get cute with court, she's going to find out. Cynic and Chief says, got a bag of that brand of tea sitting right here. Awesome. Then you made the right choice. From classic milk tea with boba, what are your recommendations of drinks to make with it? Oh man, you can do all sorts of things. I mean, I actually like, this is an interesting one. I like making like a coffee milk with milk tea. It actually kind of balances it out. Like you don't need to add the sweetener, right? Because you've got it in the milk tea the tea portion with the coffee. That actually is fine for me. Actually, another thing, it's kind of Singaporean that I like is the orange juice in the coffee. That actually can sometimes be all right. I know it sounds weird, but it actually, I kind of like that. I get it from my favorite Singaporean place that does the kaya toast eggs and like an orange juice coffee. It's just good stuff. It sounds weird, but it's good. Sounds weird, but it's really good. Luca Bell says, thanks for your coverage. It makes understanding legal matters easier. You're welcome. You're very much welcome. Nick Tomato says, that's not what I meant, Legal Mind. I said, oh, okay. I meant they went after his children. That's a line you don't cross. So just like all them equally, but there's a line. Oh, yes, I agree with that. So sorry. Going after children is absolutely unacceptable. I think that there should be a maximum punishment for those that do that. I think there should be more punishments for people that do things like swatting or false reports, like false reports to CPS. Those should be extreme punishments. False allegations in general in the US need harder punishment. They need to be punished almost as extreme as the actual crime, because it is vile and disgusting. And I absolutely agree with that. All right, guys, listen. Don't go anywhere. Smash the like button. Stay tuned. We have a fast facts on disloyal Denims coming up right now. Go over to that. Make sure you like that video, comment there, and I will catch you on the next.
You are coping the seething. You just can't believe what you're seeing. It's you coping the seething. The truth it is all day, and now you are more than you.